My name is Kumud Gandhi and I'm here at the Cooking Academy Cookery School in Rickmansworth, and today I'd like to talk to you about chillies. If you're fond of growing chillies or you use chillies a lot, then you might want to consider how you could effectively preserve them so that you don't have to keep chopping chillies every time you're using them. Or indeed, if you bought a lot of chillies, then you could actually just preserve them. Oftentimes people say, well, could I not freeze them whole and just pop them in the freezer? Yes, you can, but actually when you're cutting them, and particularly if you're using fine, small chillies, then actually the point of cutting, the texture has changed because they've been frozen. And that's when it could get quite dangerous to have a very sharp knife cutting something very fine. So my way of preserving chillies is quite simply to put them into a food processor and blitz them beforehand and then freeze them in their tiny chopped up state. Also particularly important, if you're growing chillies and you'll have an abundance of a crop of chillies, then this would be a fantastic way of preserving them and then having them all throughout the winter to use from the crop that you've grown yourself. So just literally take the heads off the chillies, which I've done here, pop them into your food processor. You will need to add a little bit of salt just to act as a preservative to stop them from oxidizing. That's just slightly discolor a little. So I'm just using about a quarter teaspoon of salt and then just put them into a little mini chopper. Have a little look, see how fine they are. So they just need to come down a little bit. Let me just give it a stir. Careful not to inhale too much, they're very, very strong. I'm using the bird's eye chillies here, which I'm likely to use in potentially some kind of curry paste, let's say a red Thai curry or something. So I'm just going to remove the lid, and these are about the right size that you want. Let me just show you on my spatula here. This is the kind of fine blitz you want. Chillies are amazing. They are very high in antioxidants, high in vitamin A and C, and really good for your immune system. So I try and put chillies into my diet wherever possible, particularly if you have poor circulation, because they're just the kind of thing that gets your blood moving again. So I'm going to turn this out into a Ziploc bag, and here we are. Use the spatula, these spatulas are really great. Use the spatula to scrape it all out. And just get it into here. Now, you're going to actually flatten this bag out as much as you possibly can so that it's a very thin surface area. Because when it comes to actually, you're going to freeze this, and when it goes in the freezer, this will last, this is good for up to 12 months. And so actually, the thinner this is, the more quickly you'll just be able to break off what you want to use when you're cooking and save yourself a lot of time at the most time critical point when you're cooking. And that is just ready to go in the freezer.